What's the word around the town, family? It's your humble host, KD, and I'm back with another episode of Around the Town News. So, look, you already know before we even get started with today's topics, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you ain't getting notified of these videos. Write something in the comments. Other than that, roll up your bleezies, get you something to drink, and enjoy the show. All right, so look, we going. We got 5 topics today. We going across the seas. This how we starting this off. Starting this off hot and spicy. We go across the seas. So somewhere in Spain, right? A Caucasian looking woman. I mean, she's milky white. Has a husband. They're expecting a baby. Everything's good. Check it out. They're in the delivery room. Everything's going as planned. Excuse me. Everything's going as planned, and the baby is coming. Now, all the suspense is happening, this, that, and the third. They're telling her to push. All that extra goodness, right? Boom. The delivery happened. The presence of a newborn baby is here. But then, what you would think would be a peaceful and loving moment has been interrupted. Why? This lady pushes out a black baby. And not only does she pushes out a black baby, in which the husband is totally confused and kerfuffled, she then argues the husband that he was cheating on her with the black woman. And by him cheating on her with a black woman, he ended up giving her a black baby. Now, I'm not no scientist. I'm not no biology major. I'm not no anatomy major. But as a human being and as somebody that has a working brain, even though I get fried, sip a little cut water from time to time, but my brain still works nonetheless. If you are the woman and your man happens to be sleeping with another woman of a different ethnicity, he cannot transfer her ethnicity to your womb, sweetheart. You had to been sitting there dibbling a little bit of chocolate in order to produce a chocolate baby. I mean, that's just regular, 1+1 = 2 type of situations. But to try to cover your tracks, you'll sit there, not admit that, you know, Rico, the delivery guy, yeah, the handsome guy that delivers all our packages. One day we got into an argument. I was feeling some type of way, and then he came and delivered my new nightgown that I just ordered. And then, I asked him did he want to watch me try it on, and then one thing led to another. Instead of being real, you said that your husband cheated on you with an African American, well, not an African American woman, but an African woman. And then you end up sleeping with your wife and transmitting the ethnicity, which would be a whole different ethnicity than what y'all are, to that baby. Now, everybody in fucking science know that's impossible. But hey, women are just going to be women, right?
Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
Now, we slide into Canada with this one. Yeah. We all around the world. You already know this around the town, baby. We go all around the world with this. So, we're in Canada now, right? Where a 46-year-old man, a father of 7, supposedly a happily married husband, has a wife for 23 years, decides at 43 years old, he no longer wants to be a father. He no longer wants to be a husband. He doesn't want any children. He says, you know what? Being an adult is so hard, so stressful. You know what I want to do? I'm going to revert back to a 6-year-old child. But not a 6-year-old little boy. No. This grown 43-year-old man, 46-year-old man, went back 40 years and became a 6-year-old little girl. So, if y'all seen my the news I put out earlier, mental illness is real. Now, once again, if you want to pretend on your off time that you are a female when you're a man, by all means, play dress up, put on makeup, do whatever makes you feel comfortable while you to be in the skin that you in. But at the same time, when you are a 46-year-old father of 7, married to a woman for 23 years, now you want to revert back to a 6-year-old little girl? You have mental problems, my brother. You have mental problems. You need to go seek a therapist. Whatever traumas that you've been fighting throughout your years, you need to figure out a way to sit there and heal those, because what people fail to realize is this. All right, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Traumas are nothing but emotional injuries. The only way to heal from an injury is to, whether it's a broken bone or a sprained ankle, you must elevate it, let it rest, let the inflammation go down, and then you must work towards releasing the tension. So basically, what I'm saying is this. You have to learn how to you get the injury. You have to learn how to live with the injury, work towards making the injury better. That way it is no longer an injury, if that makes sense. But once again, mental illness is real, and a grown 46-year-old man from Canada that has 7 children and a wife for 23 years decided that out of nowhere He doesn't want his children anymore. He doesn't want his wife anymore. And he wants to sit there and live the rest of his life as a 6-year-old little girl. Now, y'all sit there and y'all tell me if that's not mental illness. Write in the comments.
Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
We slide into Florida. Now we all know Florida. Florida is the epicenter of what I like to call the simulation. What is a simulation? You know how like all these years we've been playing GTA, Saints Row, and all that extra bullshit? That's Florida in real life. To the point where people in Florida, they don't move on regular nigga timing. Like, it's either they're extreme with everything or they're super docile. Now, in this case, this is a sad situation to trigger warning. In this case, we have a 64-year-old man that lives in a house with a 39-year-old stepdaughter. A 64-year-old man living in a house with a 39-year-old stepdaughter. So, sources say the stepdaughter was in the kitchen. Who knows if she was making son to drink, making son to eat, fixing her meals, fixing her lunch so she could sit there or packing her lunch so she can go to work. Who knows? But she was in the kitchen. The 64-year-old man was going into the kitchen too. Who knows how big the kitchen is, whatever the case may be. Supposedly, how the detectives say it, he squeezed past her to go do whatever he was going to go do in the kitchen. I don't know if his private parts rubbed past her cheeks, if they was cheeks to cheeks, or however it went. He squeezed past her. She turns around and says, "You could have said excuse me," in which this sent the stepfather in a furious rage, but only on the inside. He did not say anything. What he did was he walked out the kitchen, went into his room, proceeded to grab a firearm, goes back into the kitchen, and proceeded to expunge 5 shells from said firearm into his stepdaughter. So once again, Florida is not a real place. Florida is a simulation. Because every time you hear about stories coming out of Florida, especially in my mind, the first thing I think about is Grand Theft Auto. That's the only thing that I can correlate with Florida that makes sense. Because how in the fuck can you sit there and explain to me that you and your stepdaughter live in the same crib, you brush past her, she sits there and turn around, damn, you could have said excuse me, whether you bumped her, private parts touch private, however it may have went. You get that mad that you go grab your gun and shoot her and delete her off of this earth? You unalive her because she sat there and said, you could have said, excuse me? That has to be a simulation. Even though God rest her soul, but y'all really must think that y'all living in Grand Theft Auto out there. Because that makes no sense. No logical sense. And then you tell the officers yo, I really messed up. No shit, Sherlock. Nigga, you sat there and popped your stepdaughter because she said you could have said excuse me. No shit, you messed up. Royally. Like this is ridiculous, bro. Another place in which I really feel like is a simulation is Mississippi. Because that is another state in which some of the most weird, backwards, and awkward shit happens. And can't nobody truly explain it. Okay. So, trigger warning. A 27-year-old Mississippi mother just had a brand new baby. The baby is only 4 months old. Gets into a argument with the baby father. Guess she tells the baby father to come get the baby. I don't know what the baby father said. I don't know if I don't know what he said. It doesn't say what the baby father said. But it does say what the mother says. Now it says that the mother sat there and sent the father a chilling message. So what this means is 9 times out of 10, either they do not live together or the baby father is at work or trying to make some money somewhere. Who knows? But it seems like if y'all sending messages back and forth to each other, y'all not in the same house. First of all. Second of all, we all know about postpartum depression. We all know about this. But at the time when, if this is postpartum depression to where you blacking out on your baby father because your 4-month-old won't stop crying or whatever the case may be, that you send a message to your baby father and tell him if you don't come get this effing baby, I'm going to unalive them. And how I'm going to unalive them, I'm going to run them over. And then it gets worse. Because according to the police, when they arrived on the scene, the baby was in the street and the woman was getting in the car about to sit there and run the baby over. Now, if this is postpartum depression, something needs to be done. I'm not too sure about the medication, but I believe that now men is now starting to get maternity leave too when they have newborn baby, so they can be there with the baby too. So if I believe I heard this. Now if this ain't true, write it in the comments. But if it is true, if you got a job, my boy, you need to sit there and you should have got maternity leave, and you should sit there like, look, because it's no way on God's green earth I'm gonna bring a baby into this world and I still have to go work and provide. Which I keep on saying men have to do. They have to work, they have to provide. And my baby mother is sitting there calling or texting me, voicemailing me, whatever, however she trying to get in contact with me. And telling me I can't do this. If you don't come get this baby, it's not gonna be no more baby. It's not gonna be no more baby when you get home. That is utter insanity. Mental health is real.
Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
This is wicked on a whole nother level. Come on. What? Why would you do that? Why? Okay. So we leave in Mississippi. We going to North Carolina. All right. Now, North Carolina, it's a 33-year-old police officer. Right. Now, this 33-year-old police officer, trigger warning, has been charged with rape, kidnapping, and sexual servitude. These are the charges. Now, it says that a report was made of a SA. And instead of the police department burying it like they normally do when it comes to these cases, no, the police chief did what they were supposed to do and turned that over to the district attorney, in which the district attorney
lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. His ass up. Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
put an investigation in suit. And what the district attorney found out was Officer Blake allegedly broke into the home on April 8th. So this is recently. This is last month. Broke into the house on April 8th and raped a young lady. After raping the young lady, forced her into servitude. Now, I don't know what type of servitude he forced her into, but this would force her into servitude. Now, that right there within itself is crazy. So you mean to tell me, and it doesn't say that this was his ex-girlfriend or a female that he been dealing with or nothing. This is just a random person. So you as a police officer are going to break into someone's house and rape them, kidnap them, and then put them into servitude of the SA kind. And you are a police officer. And y'all wonder why, especially in the black community, that we do not trust the police. And what makes it even worse is you are a nigga. Now, when I first read this article, I really would have thought that this would have came from a Caucasian man. But you are a nigga. So that makes it even 10 times worse. What is going on? Bro, this is terrible, bro. This is terrible. And this is the world that we live in. And with that, this has been another episode of Around the Town News with your humble host, KD. You already know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back with another one. Peace.